When we're training men for ministry, what are we doing? We're training them in the ministry of the word. Why do we teach them Greek and Hebrew? So that they can read and understand the scriptures. Period. Why do we do New Testament and Old Testament? Again, so they can read and understand the scripture. Why do we do biblical backgrounds and the history of Israel and the history of the ancient Near East so that they can understand and put into context the scriptures? Why do we teach them biblical theology and systematic theology? So that they can understand and categorize the scriptures. Why do we teach them church history? This one messed me up. Church history is hard. I don't know about the other brothers in here. That was my hardest, like that class right there. Like, you know how they say drinking through a fire hose? It's just so much. And why? Just why? Felt like a teenager again. Why? Right? Here's why. How have people handled the scriptures throughout the history of the church? And what have the results been? How have people handled the scriptures well? And how has God honored that? How have people handled the scriptures poorly? And what have been the consequences of that? Even when we're looking at the history of the church, at the end of the day, it's about the proclamation of the scriptures. Everything else that we're doing, when we're talking about preaching what? The scriptures. When we're talking about pastoral care and counseling, again, we've come through a generation where that hasn't been scriptural. It's been, we're going to do psychology and pray before and after. But when you're doing that the right way, what are you doing? You're applying the scriptures to every area and avenue of life. And in this day and age where we are tempted to move away from that, it's more important than ever that we're training men in the scriptures without apology.